Joining us now, the former Prime Minister of Israel, Naftali Bennett. Prime Minister, thank you so much for joining us on American Agenda. Lots to talk about this afternoon. Your reaction to what we're hearing out of those talks that just ended in Geneva. Do you feel there is a diplomatic path forward?
Well, obviously, it would be best if Iran decided to just become a normal country without nuclear weapons, without intercontinental ballistic missiles, and stop being a terror state. And that's essentially the choice in front of them. It seems that they're not about to give up their nuclear ambitions nor their terror actions, and that's what I'm hearing from Geneva.
Mr. Prime Minister, say hypothetically there is a deal that all sides come to an agreement and it looks good. Would you trust the Iranians down the line to stick to it and stick to their word?
Of course not. But I think President Trump is a very savvy person, and he's no sucker to the Iranians. So nobody trusts the Iranians. They had said that they have no nuclear program, and we discovered they had a military nuclear program. So the only way to ensure zero enrichment is to fully dismantle their nuclear program, take everything apart. If they need nuclear energy, there's ways to do it without any enrichment.
Prime Minister, I do want to ask about this report from Politico. Here's what they're saying. Quote, senior advisors to President Donald Trump would prefer Israel strike Iran before the United States launches an assault on the country. And the reasoning behind that, the article goes on to say, would be to convince Americans that a strike on Iran would be necessary. Your reaction to that?
Well, I think America makes decisions for America, and Israel defends Israel. It's two separate things. Israel certainly will do everything in our power to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. And if it means, kinetic attacks, so be it. We are an independent state. America has its own interests, and I believe that America's national security interests are to prevent a country that's acquiring intercontinental ballistic missiles from having a nuclear tip on those missiles. You don't want Iran to have the ability to shoot this to Tennessee, to New York, or to California. And just keep in mind, these guys are the most fanatic, crazy, theocratic, genocidal Islamic regime in the world. And if they would acquire this, I think no one has any doubts they'd use it.
Mr. Prime Minister, if there are strikes, are you looking for regime change? Do you think that should be the goal, or to just dismantle the capabilities of Iran?
Look, this regime is an extremely weak regime. It's corrupt, it's rotten, and it's a terror-infested regime. And obviously that would be a wonderful outcome, because anyone replacing Khamenei would be better. This guy has been in power since 1989. That's the longest standing dictator in the world. He's killed thousands of citizens, of civilians in Iran, of Americans in Beirut, in Iraq, of Israelis in Israel. So this guy is soaking in blood. And if this regime fell and we had a democratic regime instead, that would be obviously wonderful for everyone.
Prime Minister, we're almost out of time, but I do want to ask, do you think there's a possibility that Israel would strike Iran first?
Look, I'm not going to talk about any operational plans. As I said, Israel defends Israel. America decides for America. At the end of the day, though, we both are fighting for freedom. We both are fighting for stability. And you might view Israel as 10 million boots on the ground, so America doesn't have to send any soldiers on the ground here.
Okay, got to leave it there. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, sir, it's a pleasure to have you on American Agenda. Stop back soon.
You take care.